G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a tyre rotation, so I'm going to take the time to do a park brake adjustment on the Disco. This is something you should really regularly do, especially if you're using the park brake a lot. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Anyway, take two. So to put the park brake into service mode, ignition on to position 2, foot brake, press and hold. Park brake, we're going to push that down to the release position and we're going to hold it. So once we've done that, we're then going to turn the key to position 0, release the foot brake, and then release the parking brake. And that should put it into service mode, hopefully. So while that parking brake is in service mode, as soon as you turn the ignition on, apparently that will release service mode. So don't mess with the ignition until you're ready to take it out of service, until you finish your job. So depending on how much use you get off-road will depend on how dirty everything gets behind this. I'm just going to pull this one off first and check it all, and you can see the inside. If this one's relatively clean, then I won't bother taking the disc off on the other side. We're going to remove the caliper, we'll remove this torx set screw, and then this should all be able to come off. So the brake caliper bolts are a 15 mil. Now I just use a ring spanner on this bottom one, just with the toe link on the bottom makes getting a ratchet in a little bit tight at times. With those out, the whole caliper can just slide up out of place. Generally I'll just hook it in, something like that, it'll stay. You can tie it up. So I want to remove this set screw. So it's a T50. They shouldn't be overly tight. Well, shouldn't have too many dramas, at least in Australia, getting these out. Might be a bit different in the UK. And that whole disc comes off. So that's relatively clean, it's not full of dust. On the right hand side, and the two bits we need are the adjuster here, and there's a little set screw here. So at the end we back this off, give everything a bit of a knock, and then re-torque it down. So I'm pretty happy with all the condition in there so far. It's not too dusty. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this disc back on. I'll put the caliper back on, and we'll set to adjusting this. So when this rotor goes on, just make sure your set screw hole lines up. So this can be tightened back up again. Okay, now to do this adjustment, we need to rotate this disc always forward. So in direction normal forward rotation, we use a torque wrench. So we're going to measure the torque to how much resistance this brake disc is, and we're going to get our inspection hole to line up with the adjuster, and we're going to whack it forward a few clicks. Now I'm going to keep doing this and checking the torque. We're going to tighten it up till it gets between 40 Newton meters and 90 Newton meters. I've got this in between 60 Newton meters. For the right hand side, we need to tighten that so it's pushing the adjuster down.
A few moments later.
I'm at a point there now, I'm happy that that's got enough resistance there. So now that we've got that torque setting right, we're going to back this adjuster off 8 clicks. So each click is just one notch on the adjuster on the spring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. That's done. Once we've got that set, we move it around to where our Allen key adjuster is. That's it. So it's a 4mm Allen key setting. I'm lucky I've got a long socket for it. And back that off half a turn. Backed off, we'll just give it a bit of a knock, just with a soft face hammer. It just releases everything, and then we can re-torque that down. This down there, the official torque figure is what am I talking? 6 Newton meters. So not much. But yeah, that'll do. And that's pretty much it. Job done. So inspection cover can go back in, and then we can do the other side. Now the other side, this is flipped, so the adjuster, instead of being up here, I think he's down here, and the that little nut or that little bolt should be over here. So everything's just a reversal. It's pretty much as simple as that. Don't forget, you need to whack your brake caliper back on. This handbrake adjustment is definitely a job that you need to keep on top of with the D3s and D4s. It's often something that gets forgotten about quite a bit. For any brake work on the D3s and D4s, highly recommend have a search for Bodsy's Brake Bible. I don't know the guy personally. I just read that all that info in there. It's quite well written, and basically it'll give you all the tools you need, all the torque specs. It's just a nicely written thing just to help out fellow owners. Kind of a bit like what I'm doing here, just a different medium. But for me, I just use all the factory Land Rover manuals. If you're using the handbrake regularly, it's definitely needs to be done, especially if you do any sort of off-road work where you're going to get mud, dust, any sort of main contaminants inside that handbrake. If not, if you don't do it, you can end up damaging the actuator itself. And for me, with a long range tank, I'm pretty sure I'd have to drop that long range tank to get to it to get it out. So not really my idea of fun. I've had the tank out once before. Yeah, I'll pass on that where I can. The torque setting for these brake caliper anchor bolts, 115 Newton meters. So it's not particularly tight. Some people Loctite them. I just found if you're doing them to the correct torque, it's generally not something that's going to be needed. But it is your brake, so just do them right if you have any doubts. Loctite just makes it harder to undo them, in my experience. And I've never had a caliper come loose. Yeah, I'll finish up there now. So while I finish talking this one, and don't forget to like and subscribe my video. If you've got a comment to add, please throw it up. I enjoy reading comments from all you guys. you know, I just do this to help people out. And hopefully you get some use from it. But yeah, take it easy guys. I'll see you next time. Cheers.